This episode is brought to you by Complete Auto Service Center. I want to share something close to home. Literally. If you're anywhere near Richmond, Missouri, and your vehicle needs attention, there's a place that embodies trust and integrity. Complete Auto Service Center. I've known Mark and Amanda for years, and they make me feel like I'm part of their family. From oil changes to engine replacements, brakes to transmissions, they handle it all with professionalism and care. Their certified techs use quality parts, and they stand behind their work with a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. But it's more than just repairs. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that your vehicle is in the hands of people who value honesty and excellence. So, if you're seeking a reliable partner for your automotive needs, visit CompleteASC.com or stop by 718 Woolard Boulevard. Let them earn your trust, your business, and your friendship. Complete Auto Service Center. Complete maintenance, complete repairs, complete peace of mind. This episode is brought to you by Cutting Edge Landscapes. I've known Brandon Steffen, the owner of Cutting Edge Landscapes, for over 15 years. We've seen each other through a lot, climbed mountains together, served together, and when it came time to trust someone with my lawn, there was no question. I turned to Brandon and his team. Let me tell you, the difference after just one application was truly incredible. My yard went from weedy and full of dandelions to lush and vibrant. It was green, like really green. Also, I fought the bag system for years, never really seeing the results I wanted, but it has new life now, and that's all thanks to Cutting Edge. Cutting Edge isn't just about landscape projects either. They're about building relationships and treating your property like it's their own. Whether it's fertilization, aeration, or seasonal treatments, they tailor their services to what your lawn truly needs. With over 40 years in the business, Cutting Edge Landscape stands by their motto, "Your property is our passion." And after seeing the results firsthand, I can vouch for that. Visit callcuttingedge.com or 816-580-3343 to schedule your consultation. Your lawn will thank you. This is the Son of the Law podcast. Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome to the Son of the Law podcast. This is your host, Jay Christopher. Before we get started here, I want to thank our sponsors, Complete Auto Service in Richmond, Missouri, and Cutting Edge Landscapes in Lawson, Missouri. Also want to thank you for supporting the show. You are why we do this and what it's all about. And as you know, the next awkward pause in the conversation, it is your opportunity to say, hey, have you listened to the Son of the Law podcast yet? You may not remember this, or why would you remember it if you didn't know it? But that happened in high school. I was about a junior in high school, and somebody said, the next awkward pause, you will think of Abraham Lincoln. And every single time since then, I've thought of Abraham Lincoln. So I am playing a little, right? I'm playing a little joke on you. So you will now think of the Son of the Law podcast, and it's a little scheme. We'll see.
See if it works.
Yeah, see if it works. All right, reminder to share the show across all platforms. We are on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and your favorite podcast player. Encourage people to follow and turn those notifications on so you can be ready for the next episode. Find us on socials at Son of the Law Podcast and on Instagram. We drop every other Monday at 6 a.m. so that drive to work or never miss a Monday workout can be extra special. Joining me in my studio, otherwise known as my lovely basement podcast recording place, are Jessica Cureton, Lindsey Wright, and Jordan Linney. Welcome, ladies.
Hello. Thank you.
All right. Many of you know Jessica already, little teeny. And, Jessica is the new Karen, right?
No.
I don't understand this Jessica's the new Karen thing.
I don't know. Chris is the only one who has heard it.
Karen in today's right, you're a Karen. You know what that means, right? Well, the next generation of Karens are named Jessica.
Interesting.
And Jessica will tell you to slow down if you drive too fast.
I don't know about that.
Jessica goes to the restaurant and orders queso because she's worth it.
You have a sister, Jessica.
That's true. She would totally order cake.
Jessica is Lee's wife, and we have a special bond, as you know, through our recent episode. She's the one who forced me to drop the episodes on Monday. And wonderful mom to 3 Rugrats, soon to be 4, Sammy, Emmy, Lydia, and Chris. Or Christy, potentially, maybe.
It's embroidered onto a onesie right now.
That's right. And you've already got it.
Oh yeah, it's not Chris or
Oh.
Christy.
Dang it. Well, as we're recording, Jess is due in just a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hoping we could get this recorded before she had the baby.
We did it.
We did
So far,
it.
so good.
Gonna make it happen. I guess anything can happen, right?
It could
never
be
know.
really exciting.
Yeah, we're in for a treat.
Yep. Welcome, Lindsay. Excellent wife, mother to 5 awesome ankle biters. Mabel, Emmy Lou, Jonathan, William, and Caroline. Love having you here. I think you are a resident introvert.
Yep.
So very much I love getting introverts where they're safe and comfortable. So as you get cozy, I just want to get you comfortable and just say whatever you feel like saying.
That's what I'm afraid will happen.
That's the best part. And then there are people like, I knew her, but I didn't really know her. And Jordan, terrific wife, fantastic mother of 2 tricycle motors, Stetson and Waylon.
Yeah, there's something.
And you wore a Stetson hat here today.
I did, yeah. Cowboy names for cowboy kids.
I
right?
love that. So good. Well, thank you so much for having us. Can you guys all maybe go around, tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, how people might know you, maybe ties to Lawson?
Sure.
Lindsay?
I grew up in Lawson, so that would be probably how people know me the most. I've been a Lawson Baptist for the majority of my life. I don't know. Matt and I met in college, and
Go Bearcats.
yep, Northwest, and we got married in 13. A couple years later, we started having kids, and here we are.
Very good. All right. Jordan?
I grew up in Lawson too. My parents are kind of from Lawson. I met my husband Josh. He worked on my dad's ranch, and that's how we met. And we started having farm kids, and he no longer had to be paid anymore. It worked out well for everybody. But
Oh, the farmer's daughter.
yeah,
It's a typical story.
There are
we are very stereotypic, like
Very country song.
country.
there are a lot of songs written about the farmer's daughter. I love it.
Yeah.
And Teeny?
Yeah, I grew up in Lawson, married Lee from Lawson. Taught in Lawson for a little bit, so still get recognized for that. And now mostly for going to your kids' sporting events.
Yeah, what goes around comes around. As mine grow up and yours come along, those roles will be reversed very soon.
Yeah.
All right, rapid fire question. What's the weirdest thing you've Googled at 2 a.m.?
Something health related, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't look it up on WebMD.
Yeah. I would say mine was the, what is that? What are those things called that come out of your behind? The worms.
Oh, pinworms?
Pinworms, yes. Pinworms. Yes. Not for myself.
Those come out of, I don't know those. I didn't even
They
know
come
those.
out at night.
They come out at night. That's why I was researching it in the middle of the night.
If your kid's scratching.
Okay. We have taken a turn. Here we go.
Certainly. Okay. Anything to add, ladies?
I can't top that.
Okay, I'll save you here. What is your irrational fear that makes absolutely no sense?
Mine's heights.
Heights?
Yeah,
I feel like that makes sense.
yeah.
Heights
One
are
time we
kinda
went.
scary.
One time we were like climbing a mountain, and I didn't realize how bad it was, and I had a full-on panic attack like halfway up the mountain. I don't know.
Even though your feet were firmly planted on the ground?
Yeah, I was not high.
I see. When we lived in Excelsior, the barbecue fly-in would always come over our house. And I just had this irrational fear that one of those planes was going to crash into our house. That's weird.
Isn't someone in your family scared of like carports too? Like not carports, but
Like
the
parking
parking
garages?
garages. Yeah.
we're just highly situationally aware, and parking garages are, I don't know, a lot to take in.
Large and heavy.
All right. Fall is coming. Do you prefer the tastes or smells of the season? I got to steal this one from Christopher. This one may be new. He was in the kitchen the other day asking that question of my lovely wife, Carissa, and she did not have an answer. It was both.
Yeah.
And you got to
are
pick.
great.
You got to pick one or the other.
Oh.
Tastes or smells of
Taste.
fall.
Yeah, I would say taste.
Yeah. I've become like, I can't handle like the artificial flavors of fall. It gives me headache now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hashtag no pumpkin spice latte for you
No.
next time. All right. What is your most ridiculous mom hack that accidentally worked?
I feel like I have a lot of mom hacks, but I don't know that they were accidental. The one that I can think of is that I use a broom and sweep all my kids' toys into a pile to pick them up because I don't like bending over.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Then you're all right there. So you bend down once, you can grab several at the same time instead of up and down.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Were you pregnant whenever you discovered that hack?
I don't remember. I do it. I've done it for a long time.
I've just recently learned that my stubborn, sweet boy responds best to burpees as punishment. So my children are going to be ripped because my youngest can whip out 20 burpees like it's nothing.
Oh, wow.
But it's
I was going to say, how many burpees are we doing here? 5 or?
No, I mean,
we're doing 20 burpees.
We'll start with a little amount, but they just don't know when to quit. You know how kids are. They're like, fine. Like, okay, you got 5 more. So
Yeah, keep going.
20, 25, yeah.
It's a good idea.
It works well for him.
That's excellent. Teeny?
I got a like sports water bottle carrier that like you'd see on the sidelines to carry water bottles in it. I tend to travel with 2 drinks myself plus kids, so we fill that thing up and load it everywhere we go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You're going from a party of 5 to a party of 6 now, so everybody's got their cubby when you're little.
Ours has 8, so I still get 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh, she's got room.
And snacks go on the other side.
That's awesome. Have you ever used a sock, a receipt, or fast food napkin as a tissue?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. And I say that because right before the episode, we were trying to dispose of a bit of gum, and Lindsay found a place for it in her pocket in the midst of something else.
There's never a lack of trash with kids.
Always something. All right. Have you ever hidden from your family in the bathroom and pretended it was me time?
Multiple times a day. Yeah. Regularly.
I need to go to the bathroom. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming. I am excited to talk about this. It's no secret. The Son of the Law podcast, my family, my friends, we are a great advocate for the Lawson School District. 4 kids raised here. We love it. And we've made awesome decisions, to send our kids there. There has been a recent explosion in homeschooling. And I don't have the statistics, maybe you do, but I was listening to a podcast and I'll reference it because it was more or less the inspiration for me reaching out to you and others related to kind of how your approach and your journey to this stuff pretty regularly. And apparently sometime in like the 1980s, there was like 50,000 people homeschooling across the country. And then in the early 2000s, that number had jumped up to like 500,000. And now it's like 5 million, all people homeschooling. And I just can't get away from a trend like that. I mean, so that's something that I'm kind of thinking through. And the podcast I was listening to was Sean Ryan, and he was interviewing the owners of the homeschool curriculum, Classical Conversations. And so I thought, okay, they're homeschooling. That must be the only program. So I started, I know, right? It's really naive now that we talk through it. So I come home and I'm talking to Jess about it a little bit. And I'm like, are you guys doing classical conversation? She's like, no, we're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And we're kind of doing our own thing. And it'll be yours to clarify what this and that means. But I had no idea that there was such a wide range of options and programs to teach kids the basic things. And so started asking questions, and I continue to find it interesting. And so now I'm here getting ready to chat with all of you. So related to kind of your personal background and motivations, can each of you maybe share a little bit about yourselves and your families, and then what led you to the decision to ultimately come to the decision to homeschool your kids?
Go for it.
Okay.
So my family and I, Lee and I both grew up going to Lawson K-12, and then both went and have a college degree. Really was not on our mind to homeschool at all. We have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, almost 2, and any day now baby. Homeschool was something I said I would not do even after I had a kid. I was teaching. I taught kindergarten for 4 years. Really up until preschool kind of started, and we're going to even enroll him in preschool, and then it wasn't available, like spots were full, and so we didn't, and then we kind of dove in really, to homeschool. We started coming to Lawson Baptist, and that there's a big community of homeschoolers there. So that kind of started us down the path of questioning it, seeing what are we going to do. And I don't know what our decision to homeschool, the number one factor was like time with our kids. We boiled down to it is we only get so much time with our kids, and we want to be the ones spending that time with them. That can go a lot deeper, but basically time was a big decision.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, I don't know that we had it in mind. I enjoyed doing like preschool at home with our oldest, Mabel. She's 8 now. I got invited to go to like a homeschool conference with a friend, and they had spoke there about just statistics on like children carrying out their faith after they graduated in homeschool compared to public school. And it was just really impactful. Not that you can't, follow the Lord if you're in public school. There's plenty of people that come out of the school system that are great and strong Christians. But I just remember feeling, convicted after that the best way to go was homeschooling for our family. And I really enjoyed doing preschool stuff with our oldest. So, and then a couple years of doing that, I think it was more Matt that was stronger opinionated to continue going, because I could see the benefits of both, especially for our children that are kind of more introverted, that sending them to school might be helpful for them. But he became more strongly opinionated that we should homeschool. So here we are.
Very good.
I grew up in Lawson, went to public school too, as we all did. And I just always kind of enjoyed teaching, even when I was a younger kid. And I enjoyed teaching preschool to our oldest, whose name is Stetson. And my husband was very pro public school. And so I wanted to homeschool, and he was very, not stubborn, but he had made the decision that this was what he thought was best. And as a Christian wife, I was going to submit to his decision. And so we did that. And Stetson went to public school kindergarten, and he didn't like it. I mean, a lot of kids do like it. He did not. But safety was one of our concerns in the public schools. And I just never felt like I knew exactly what was being taught up there. If something was being taught against our faith, I just wouldn't have known. And so I think Josh one day out of the blue came into our room, like he had been sick, and he said, I think we should homeschool next year. And I was like, has the COVID affected your brain? Like, he had COVID. And he was like, no, I think I've changed my mind, and we should do we should try and do it this way. And I was like, all right, he's finally on board. And so then we were just following that plan, and Stetson really loves homeschool. It works pretty well for him.
Brilliant. So, not necessarily, excuse me, not necessarily always a part of your parenting plan, or, I mean, I guess there was a response to some specific things in there. But I've definitely heard themes of spiritual, some social, a little jab at the pandemic, but there was a lot of people who left turned into this environment as a result of the pandemic. I know a few folks who've made that. Academically, have you thought through that? Did you ever think through, or as you were considering this, did you say, academically I can do this as well or better than the public school? Or was the academic side of it a primary consideration or a secondary consideration?
I don't think it was probably as much as a consideration as maybe it should have been, but
Okay.
I think they get a lot more one-on-one time. So maybe where I'm lacking in expertise, I'm gaining time spent with them, learning alongside them, and being able to help them grow and develop in areas that I can see them lacking in. Whereas in a classroom situation, they wouldn't get the one-on-one. The teacher may not notice that they're falling behind as much as I would being their mom. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt academically prepared from my public school education, and I didn't second guess that he wouldn't be academically prepared from homeschooling.
Yeah, it was just a bold confidence going into it.
It's going to be fine. We'll figure it out. Like, we can handle it. It's not, you don't have to come up with everything yourself. There are tons, like you said, tons of curriculums, tons of different plans you can follow. You can get on the Missouri standards and make sure you're staying in line with the schools if you want to. And I just had confidence that it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And it has been. So.
Yeah. Wonderful. Anything to add?
Yeah, I think for me it was a little bit different in that I had just come off of teaching. I had been teaching kindergarten. We were getting ready to send Sammy to kindergarten. It was kind of the year before we made the decision. And so the school, like, we would be sending him to Lawson, and I'm like, okay, I've taught here. I know what a day looks like in a kindergarten classroom. I know how much time they're actually sitting and doing learning. I can do that at home, and we have the
rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing, like Lindsay was saying, like, I could also see, like, what if I had an advanced child, what kind of treatment they got, if they were, like, behind, what kind of treatment they got, and if they're in the middle ground, where that left them. And just to be able to, like, I would like to think when I was teaching, like, I loved all my students and would do whatever for them, but not like a mom. So there's a difference in being able to notice what they need and give them that.
Right. And so, just because I think one of the more dramatic concerns I think people might have when they think about homeschooling versus, going to the private school is, I think it's similar to women working versus not working and whatnot. Like there's just going to be a drama around it. I'm not sensing any real negativity that any of you have towards the towards the public school. And so you kind of hit on this a bit, Jordan. Did your upbringing or educational experiences color your decision to go this direction? Or do you just feel like this is the best decision for our kids and you moving that way, regardless of what other options were out there?
I think yes and no. Like, I can specifically think of incidents in middle school, in high school, where other students or faculty were teaching things against our biblical beliefs. And my parents wouldn't have known that. And thankfully, we were old enough to know better. But just to kind of shield your children from that, especially starting young, I think it's starting younger and younger. And I just wanted to shield them and keep them safe. And then just from a safety standard, not so much the pandemic, but more of a violence kind of thing. Like, I know that my little one is like me and we were worriers. So if he was doing drills, I think he would have had a hard time focusing and those types of things. And as he got older and understood more, I think he would have been more nervous. So.
Very good. What's your thoughts?
Lee and I kind of battled in the opposite ways. Like, we never had a negative experience with it. So we were kind of battling, like, why are we not? Like, what is our hesitation? And it was more of like, not what is the hesitation, but like, what are the pros to homeschooling versus not kind of like the bad thing about one or the other, but this is better for our family.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, and I would say just making things, I think of history class in specific. I wouldn't have known anything about history prior to homeschooling my kids. I don't remember anything from high school. So I hope that I can make those things more interesting and maybe more memorable for my kids, maybe. I don't know.
Very good. Well, that's maybe ties right into the next line here is the curriculum that you chose and how you chose it and why you chose it. I mentioned earlier my naive approach to this was assuming that classical conversations was the only curriculum out there, and then I was quickly schooled that there's a lot more to do that. So, I mean, can you maybe walk us through how that journey unfolded for you? Because I can imagine it's overwhelming, right? I mean, you start to say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then you look at it and it's not one option, it's 15 options or 20, and then you've got to choose them and whatnot. So specifically, what homeschool curriculum or approach are you currently using, and what factors influenced your use of that curriculum?
We are using a bunch of different stuff. We use Sunlight for our main curriculum, but like you said, like there's so many options, and it takes you a solid while to figure out if you like a curriculum or not. So,
what is Sunlight?
It's a curriculum.
Okay.
It can be all in one. We use their history, Bible, literature program for our main. It's like it outlines our whole year, and then we use the Good and the Beautiful for English, and Math UC for math, and we have like a handwriting curriculum we use. I think that's it. I don't remember what else I don't know. We use Apologia for science, I guess. I think that's it.
Okay.
But there's all kinds of different little curriculums you can add into whatever, but that's what we're using right now. I don't know if that'll be what we use in the future, but it just takes a long time to see if you like a curriculum or if it works for your kid or whatever. Like the Good and the Beautiful is really beautiful. It teaches English really easily. Like it's very much like you read it and the kid does it, and there's lots of artwork and pretty things that our girls really like, but as our boys get up there, I don't know that may be something that they'll enjoy as much. And then Math UC we really like because it's very black and white, which numbers are. So that's easy to just show them, give them a worksheet, and this is your math. It doesn't need to be frilly and whatever.
Yeah, and it's Math UC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
Sunlight is very history based, is what Matt really likes history, and so I wanted our curriculum to have a heavy history influence so that we could teach that, and that's why we chose that one. But
brilliant. Jordan?
I feel like we change something every year, which probably all of us do, but Stetson's
I
getting...
think the schools do, right? I mean, there's
sure.
always something changing, right? So,
and I think that's the beauty of homeschool. I was just talking to someone at church today about you can always change your mind. Like, we started public school and we changed our mind, or we'll start a curriculum and we'll change our mind. Or if this suddenly did not work out for us, we could change our mind. But so we change our mind a lot with curriculum. My oldest, he's fairly easy. My youngest is just very different in a good, I mean, they're both in good ways, but they're just very different. And so this is my first year of having two, and we have started a program called Gather Round, and it's like a unit study. So right now we're studying forest animals, so we'll read together, and then they each have separate books about the same thing. And we're enjoying that, but who knows if we'll stick with it or if we'll do our own thing. We do Abeka math. We've done Abeka in the past. It's just very labor intensive. And my son likes that, but one thing that we like, or that I think a lot of homeschool parents like, are the open and go books. A lot of people will say, oh, I can't homeschool because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, the open and go books, you just open it and it has everything written out for you. So you don't have to come up with a lesson plan, or, you just follow along.
Yeah.
And so I think that can help it not to be so overwhelming for people. And it's good for us. We can just haul it with us and do it wherever.
Open it and go.
Yeah,
Love
exactly.
it. Teeny?
Yeah, we're at a little bit different stage. They have older, couple years ahead of us. So right now my oldest just started first grade and my middle is in preschool. So we have not dove into history and science like as much. We're doing like nature studies and stuff, and again, that's like the beauty of me knowing what was taught like in public schools is like, I taught kindergarten. I never had like a history and a science lesson. So like I didn't worry about that last year. Same for this year. A lot of people like just, you don't have to do it yet. So like we're also getting ready to have a baby. Like you don't need to do it right now. And you can always pick it up. So in January, you might find it something new. But right now we're just really doing language arts, and we do the good and beautiful. And then math, we also do math UC. We did the good and the beautiful math last year. And towards the end of it, kind of like Lindsay was saying, like, my son was just like, he didn't need the frilly stories. He just wanted, like, can I skip ahead to the practice page so I can be done? So this one, it's like black and white. He does a page and he's done. Loves it. He's doing great with that. So we've switched to that this year. And then we do handwriting. Then we do like a family, like Bible story in the morning. And then once Awana at our church starts up, we kind of use those verses to memorize throughout the week. In the past for preschool, we use Gentle and Classical, which has a bunch of just like really like classical stories, biblical, kind of easy. They're in preschool.
Yeah.
We're making learning fun still. And my son's young for his like class too. So he's like just turned 6 at the end of his kindergarten year. So really I'm like, it wasn't even required that we were doing that in the state of Missouri. So
yeah, so just a couple of observations. You talk about how you can change, and you can change your mind, and you can get some experience and then move on to the next thing. What I'm observing is that you can do that much faster than potentially a school district could do it. You guys can make a change. You can pick up the curriculum. You can look at it. You can talk to friends, and you make a decision. It's done. A lot of these things within a district or a state have to go through some governing body and some, school board or what have you, and you kind of act as judge and jury and whatnot for your own kids' experience, and that can be a very efficient process. So very good. What factors? No, we already talked about that. Okay, talk maybe about the specific needs of your kids. How do you tailor your teaching to suit the individual needs of your kids? And again, I'm just thinking about the kindergartners or the first graders. You got 30 kids running around, and they're all at different ages, and not ages, expectations, experiences. Some kids didn't have a great preschool experience, and so they're still learning the art of getting in a line, or basic colors and numbers and stuff like that. And then you've got some who really are more advanced than that. So how do you tailor your experiences for each kid?
My kids, like I said, are very different. So my oldest is an outside, hands-on, in the dirt, pocket knives kind of kid, and he likes to just have his work and go do it. He has like a shed outside that he's converted into his own log cabin. He's a history farm kid, so he takes his work outside. He's got a little wood stove, and so he'll start his wood stove under supervision.
Oh yeah,
don't worry about him. And then he'll do his work, and he'll come back in, and he'll say, okay, I'm gonna shoot my bow for 30 minutes, and then I'll do the rest of it. And that works well for him. And my kindergartner is very well, one, he's in kindergarten, so he can't read or do things on his own. I mean, he just needs a lot of help. But he's an inside kid.
Yeah.
And he wants attention, is used to attention all the time. And so they're just very different. When they're in the same room trying to do school, my oldest is like, he's being too loud. My youngest is like, you know, just wants all my attention, which is fine. And so it works well for us that I can just give Stetson his work. He can go do it on his own, and I can help Waylon with what he needs done. And thankfully, Waylon's, you know, kindergarten homeschool doesn't take very long, and so he gets his done pretty quick. I do think it's easier now that I have both kids in school.
They commiserate.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but like before, Stetson would be doing school and he'd be frustrated because Waylon would be playing. And now at least they're both doing school when he's like, he's playing. And I'm like, no, he's got to do school too, you know?
Yep.
So I do think that's helped, or at least been different this year.
Yeah. I don't know. Our girls are pretty similar in there. Mabel was the first kid, so she got a lot of really early attention. I have like videos of her memorizing verses younger than 2, which is, now I look back and I'm like, I had too much time on my hands. So she's maybe more advanced for her age, just because I had the time to put in at the beginning. Our first boy is, so it's girl, girl, boy, boy, girl. And so our first boy is just in kindergarten, and he's just different. I don't know. I'm learning how to school him differently, but I don't think I've seen the differences as much yet until they're a little bit older and they actually get into the sit down and focus work. Whereas right now he's just kindergarten. He's playing and learning his letters, which he really enjoys. So I don't know. I think each curriculum is different, and so if your kid likes the frilly pictures, artsy stuff, you can make it fun for them that way. Or if they like to have it hands-on, you can find curriculums that are more hands-on. There's just options for every kid, which is really wonderful.
Yeah. We're still kind of in the learning process with our second year. But Sammy, he wants to just like go do, like wakes up and is ready to play. And I try to have all their stuff laid out on the table when they wake up. And my daughter, who's just in preschool, will wake up in her jammies and say, can I do school, and have it done before breakfast is ready. And Sammy's like outside already. Like, bring it back in. You are the one who has to do this legally. So sit down. So, but yeah, we learned like through, like, he just wants to get it done. And so we had to switch our math curriculum because it was like too much for him. He's like, he can, and it comes more naturally to him, just the way he learns is like numbers, like there is an answer. So he can sit down and do it. Whereas reading, he's like, we'll push that off as long as he can. Can we just do it like when the girls are napping? Like when he knows he can't be doing anything else, like I'll just do school then. Yeah. Whereas if there's time to play, he wants to play.
And that's kind of how Stetson is too. I mean, he plays outside a lot. The other day it was 4:30 and he was finishing his last paper and he was like, "You're the worst. It's 4:30 and I'm still doing school." And I was like, "Excuse me? Like, you didn't start until 9:45 and you took a 3-hour break to drive around the yard on your lawnmower and pick up brush. Like, I'm not the worst."
Yes.
Believe me, I would love to get done earlier.
Yeah, if you would just put it in your head that you could sit down and get all this done really quick and have the rest of the day.
So the typical day is kind of what you make it.
Yes.
And as long as you get done what needs done per the curriculum.
Per the state.
Per the curriculum? Okay.
So in the state of Missouri, you have to have 1,000 hours of homeschool total over the age of 7. So you don't have to keep track before the age of 7 at all. And then 600 of those hours have to be core subjects. So math, history, science, and English. And 400 of those hours have to be at your place of schooling. So wherever that is.
Your home.
Right.
So you can take field trips,
if you
can't go over 200
I mean,
hours.
if they regularly schooled at grandma's house, then their place of schooling could be at grandma's house. It doesn't necessarily have to be at home. It's just where your regular location is. And so as long as you get your hours in, you don't have to finish your curriculum or, the state is pretty lenient in the state of Missouri, which I really enjoy because it works well for us. But yeah, you just have to follow those rules per your state. And Missouri is pretty lax.
Very good. How do you measure progress and assess academic growth? You talk about the state governing regulations, so many hours and whatnot. How do you determine success?
I think each curriculum has some way to measure tests or something like that. But I don't know. I think with our kids, just the ages that they are, seeing them learn anything is really exciting and praiseworthy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Emmylou, our 6-year-old, is just starting to pick up, like it's starting to click reading with her. And it's really, really cool to see her get so excited because she's read a book or figured out how to sound something out that she didn't know before. And just seeing them learn that and be excited that they have learned something is neat to see.
We don't do a lot of testing in my house. We do some testing because I tell him, I have to prepare you for the world. And if you want to join the military, you have to take a test to get in. Or if you want to go to college, that's great. You have to take a test to get in. Or if you want to go to welding school, you have to take a test to get in. And whatever.
Or get out.
Or get your driver's license. Or, you have to know how to take tests. The state doesn't mandate that we do tests. But I do make him do them from time to time. But we don't do them super often. With only 2 kids, I feel like you can tell if your kid's getting the top, the subject or not.
Well, and you check their work.
Yeah.
So you're going over like, oh, today you didn't get anything wrong on this assignment, whereas last week you were getting like 5 things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't that how life works, right? We talk about the places that you do need to test, right? But there's the vast majority of things where you don't. I think in society, there's no tests for a lot of things, right? There's just natural repercussions for your grasping of concepts and how well you apply that to the rest of the world, right? I'm not tested on my ability to balance my checkbook. My checkbook is balanced, or there's a consequence for it not being balanced, which, we bounce checks, or nobody uses checks anymore.
I don't balance any checkbooks.
Yeah. But you have to know how much money you have in your account, as if you overdraw, that's a problem. That's not a test. It's just a life application, right? And there's so many of those things that happen relationally. There's so many of the things that happen in many other areas, right? If you're not adept at making sure your car is running appropriately, you're going to break down. That's not a test. That's a life lesson. And I need to make sure I check my oil or drive safely next time.
If you really think about how often you test in your life after high school or after college, it's probably, 5 times maybe ever.
I don't know. Yeah. Not much.
But there are natural consequences if you go to your work and you do not put in your effort, or you have poor grammar or poor spelling. There's consequences of your work is not going to be as well or as good, but also people are going to have ideas about you and your effort. And so we do have those discussions of, listen, like, you don't have to take a spelling test, but when you are an adult and you have to work a big boy job, like, you have to know how to spell.
Yeah.
It's valuable to you.
And it will be a painful experience if somebody says that guy doesn't know how to spell that word.
Yes.
Or girl doesn't know how to, whatever. So we don't want that to off color what we're talking through.
Right. No.
But at the same time, though, the stereotypes, the misconceptions, or the conceptions about homeschooling are real. And what are some common stereotypes or misconceptions that you've encountered about homeschooling?
Go ahead.
I wasn't going to go ahead.
I was just going to say I haven't ran into many people that have given me a lot of pushback.
They have?
Haven't. Have not.
Okay.
I have not had a lot of pushback. I've heard that homeschool kids are awkward, but my kids didn't really stand a chance to not be awkward in the first place. So schooling doesn't really matter in that situation.
Yeah.
I would feel like the socialization is like the huge one we got, and still get, which once you're like in it is just like baffling, like to think that is a concern. And it's something like I said, like, I'm never going to homeschool my kids. Like, they're weird. Well, I also kind of want them to be weird and different. And I'm also choosing their friends right now. And I'm not mad about that. And neither are they right now, honestly.
Yeah.
And I mean, the socialization is the one we get the most from like family, probably, that they're secretly concerned about it. But something I've kind of gone back to that people have said when they say that, I'm like, you're wanting them though to go sit in a classroom for 8 hours a day with the people of their same age up until they're in high school. Like, when are you ever in life with only people of your age?
Right.
You're not. My kids are hanging out with people older than them, younger than them. Like, every day we have like a play date, or we're at church, or we're doing something. They're at the grocery store interacting with adults. Like, they're learning and socializing in a different way. It's just against what people think should happen.
Right.
It's normal.
And I mean, let's dig in a little bit here. And actually, maybe I kind of want to go on the offense a little bit here for a homeschooling program. I have met some kids who are in the public school and are socialized in such a way that they're monsters.
Mm-hmm.
They're not nice kids. Yeah. They're not treating people well. The behaviors are not checked at home or socially, and the consequences being born won't be felt until it well beyond the experience that they might have with my kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the bully syndrome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That bully, just, it's been my observation, generally gets what's coming to them. That kid who's acting that way generally gets what's coming to them. But the kid who's been bullied sometimes lives with a chip on their shoulder, you know, and that's a very impressionable time. And, you know, so to I guess what I'm trying to say is to assume that the standard for socialization is grounded and rooted in the school district is probably misplaced. Would you agree with that or disagree with that, or do you have other thoughts?
I mean, I think I agree with that, but I think you can have unsocialized and unkind homeschool kids too. It's not
okay.
It's not one way or the other. If you have a homeschool parent who's maybe not putting in the time or is busy doing other things, or if they haven't figured out how to lead their family well, I think that can go both ways. But I do agree that I have a vastly different ability to protect my children from bullying than others. I mean, I have 2 boys. They bully each other just fine at home. They don't need to go to public school to be bullied. So,
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not anti-public school. I'm not pro only homeschool. And so I don't feel like one way or the other is specifically 100% correct. As far as that, I do agree that maybe saying that is the standard or gold standard is just unrealistic.
So the middle ground is this socialized central group that either you are socialized or you're not, wherever you come from.
Correct. Yeah,
and,
I mean,
and everybody in every situation is working to have socialized kids, just maybe fighting a different battle in different locations.
Yeah, or choosing a different route to do it.
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to whether you lead your family well. You can lead your family into social situations that set them up for success, or you can lead your family into social situations that set them up for failure with either direction. You just have to lead your family well. Did that go against what you were trying to say?
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. I'm new to this, right? Like, I'm still very green and very, I'll use the word ignorant because I like that word in the sense that it's not that I'm incapable of learning. It's that I just don't know what I don't know. And so when have an opportunity like this to talk with you who've considered these things and made the decision to go this direction. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why are you doing it? What are you doing about the stereotypes? Like, it's clear you've thought about them. It's clear you have a good plan. And that's what I'm just sitting here, frankly, thinking, at least you're thinking about them. Yeah. I can tell you, there's a lot of people that I know who never thought once about it. They send their kid to school with their lunch and everything like that, and they sign off. I'm so glad I'm not a teacher. I'm so glad I'm just going to send my kid to school, and they're going to come back educated.
Right.
It's like a separate mentality, and I don't know how much I agree with that either. Like, so again, so that's why we're involved with our kids. They go to school. We talk about things. Sometimes we do some retraining when they get home. Sometimes we like what they bring home and they teach us stuff. So, that's just life. So again, I'm not really leading anywhere. I am just trying to maybe attack the fence from a lot of different areas to see what comes out. Yeah. So you talk about being judged, maybe misunderstood, friends, extended family, or the wider community. How do you typically respond to those things? Like, what's there's a stereotype. We've talked about it. You've got people who are very close to you. And I know sometimes the people closest to you can say the most hurtful things. So how do you deal with that sort of relational?
I think it was homeschool was different in our family. None of my family on either side or on Josh's side really homeschooled. So it was just a different thing, and that's met with apprehension. And so how we combat that is to say, we're involved in a church that probably has 50% homeschoolers, and it's not as abnormal as you think if you open your eyes and look for it. The other way we combat that is by humor, right? We've been on both sides, or at least I've been on both sides of homeschooling now. I've done public school and I've done homeschool, and I joke about the stereotypes on each side. And so I think to just acknowledge that, hey, this is a stereotype, and sometimes it's ridiculous and we can laugh about it. But that's how I battle it, I guess.
There's a lot of memes and funny reels about there about homeschoolers. And Lee and I send them back to each other. I'm like, that one's true. Or like, well, yeah, and I'm glad,
right,
that is true. And they're weird for it, but that's okay. I don't know. I think for us, we were the same way. Like, nobody in our family homeschooled. And I actually have a lot of educators in my family. And me going to school and getting a degree and a master's in education was like, a lot of people thought I was crazy. And we still get pushback from some. I think laughing about it, but also like they are, like, I was that way once. Like, so if they actually genuinely want to know, love to have the conversation. I think a lot of times they don't actually want to know.
Yeah, the mind's made up. And
so is mine for this season. So it doesn't really like bother me as much like as it maybe did when we first were like contemplating it. But we're pretty solid with like where we're at. And we're not saying that it's a forever thing. Like, something could happen to Lee where he couldn't work and I'd have to go back to teaching, and like it could not be an option. But for the season we're in, we like get more confident with our decision. So really what other people are going to say isn't going to affect unless they're close enough to us and know and want to ask.
Yeah.
I guess.
Brilliant. Lindsay, anything to add?
No, we don't have any homeschoolers on either side of us either, but we really haven't gotten much pushback at all. So
in your experiences, what do you wish more people understood about homeschooling families?
That's a good question.
I think it goes both ways as to whatever you choose for your children. Like, we're all trying to do our best and what we think is our best for our kids. And every family looks different in what they're, like you said, like, homeschooling isn't the only option, and it's not an option for some families. And I'm not judging the families that do or go to public school or not. Like, that's just what we can do and have chosen for our family at this time. So, yeah, I don't know.
just know we're doing our best.
Yeah.
Every parent is just doing the best they can, and hopefully, I mean, we've just considered what is important to us, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody is going to fault you for loving your kids in a way that you're trying to provide what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they might fault you, but
Your kids might fault you.
well,
I'm convinced at some point my kids are going to look back and blame everything on me. So.
yeah, probably.
And I love the heck out of them.
At the point that people are going to fault you for doing your best, loving your kids the best that you can. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
The people that, what do they say? The people that mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind. That kind of thing. My kids, we live next door to my parents, and they're always there, and they just, my parents get to see so much more of them, and I would say they're mostly the ones that were more apprehensive, and they've come around to it more.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about the co-op. You all have partnered together to create a homeschooling co-op, kind of a local partnership with the church and other parents. So can you give us maybe an overview of what that is and how it all works together for the sake of what you're trying to accomplish?
I think it's a cooperative, so it's a bunch of parents cooperating together to educate our children. So the idea is that we're all coming together to share resources and get some things done that maybe we wouldn't do as well at home. So my thoughts with the co-op were just that things like science and art and PE, those extracurricular things that maybe sometimes don't get squeezed into the day of schooling, would be done in a social environment where it's actually beneficial for the children to be together. They can't learn to play team sports at home,
right,
or how to work as a team at home whenever you only have a couple children. Projects and stuff seem to go better as groups. And just kids seeing other kids going through the same thing as them is really helpful. Knowing that, my friend's having to do math. Also, I'm not the only one in the world that's, my mom's making me do school all day, We've never sent our kids to public school, so I don't know. I think sometimes they don't realize, like, other kids have to do this kind of stuff too. It's not just them. And other kids have to do it a lot longer. And so going to somewhere that they can see other kids going through the same thing that they're going through and having fun with it is nice.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anything to add?
I think it's, a pushback on the socialization thing too. We can create a family of families to encourage and build each other up at all levels. At our older kids' level, they can find people at the same age or general phase of life that they're in that can encourage and support them. Our younger ones can encourage and support each other as they're learning. And then as parents, we can encourage and support each other. And so I think there's definitely a social construct to having a co-op.
Yeah.
What is it and how does it work?
Okay, so we're going to start around 8:45. We'll get there and we'll have an opening. We are going to sing a hymn from an actual hymnal, teaching our kids some history, some historical church songs, and discuss Bible verses. And then we will have like a regular learning class where they do whatever they would be doing along with the state. So, for example, I'm teaching the older elementary class, so they're doing language arts and that type of thing. And then they'll have a nature studies class so they can go outside and explore and get some science. We'll also have art and PE and a math games. And in the middle of the day, we'll have a picnic, like a big picnic outside or indoor where the kids and families can get together and visit and spend time together.
And is this every day? And are you the only 3 teachers?
It's every Monday during the school year. No, we are not the only 3 teachers, though we are teaching a lot. We have 11 families that are signed up. All the parents are required to serve in some way so that they are involved in it. To make it work, we have to have everyone involved in it, teaching or assisting teachers, wrangling kids, getting everyone to go where they need to go on time.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't just drop your kid off
No.
at, school,
No.
air
Right.
quotes, school, right? You're coming together and cooperatively saying, we all want these things, same things
Mhm.
for our kids. We need the organization and we need the structure and we need the support.
Yeah.
Mhm.
11 families means 11 people committed to coming together and assisting there
Mm-hmm.
and doing different sports or different activities. And
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
There
And-
are hybrid academies that do that. You can drop your kids off 2 or 3 days a week. But yeah, that's not what we're doing.
Okay. Any planned field trips or anything like that together, or are those individually done?
Both, but we have monthly field trips planned throughout the year, and then a couple like showcase events at the end of each semester for kids to show off kind of what we've been doing and learning, and invite families.
Brilliant.
You're invited.
I can't wait. Can I go on a field trip?
Sure. Apple Orchard is the first
Yep.
one.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my best memories were from school field trips.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Lewisburg cider mill and
Mm-hmm.
we got cider and we went to the zoo a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the zoo one.
And it's nice whenever you can go when other kids aren't there.
Let's see. What kind of support programs? No, we've already talked through that. So how are you involving other families in the planning of that? Are you all coordinating the co-op and then basically telling other people what they're going to teach, or are they bringing ideas to the table and they bring a curriculum that they're going to talk through, science or whatever?
Mhm.
How does that go? Like how do you organize it and structure it?
Kind of a mixture of both. We have a faith, not a faith, a message.
Statement of faith.
Statement of faith.
Yeah.
That everyone has to abide by, that they're not going to choose to teach anything outside of that. But then we assign the teachers and they can kind of have the reins on what they're doing throughout the year. We did kind of plan nature study because it's switching teachers all throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
But if the teachers are planning things, we found that a lot of them would rather us just give them a curriculum, though,
Okay.
rather than come up with their own stuff throughout the year.
Okay.
We also have, we're just starting and next week, which is kind of terrifying. But also,
You might not be there.
yeah, I might not be there. We have a lot of younger families, like 10-year-olds are maybe the oldest I think we have right now. And then like we'll have a nursery. So like, we haven't gotten up to like eventually, hopefully we will, and be adding those like classes and fun things and like teachers who have like, if a parent's like really interested in one thing, they can teach something specific to that. But we're still pretty much in the core season of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Very good. And then what are the short and long-term range goals for the co-op?
Short term is to start.
Get
through the year.
Get it going. Get it off the
Yeah.
ground, right? Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 11 awesome families. Are you guys included in the 11?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So that's exciting. You
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
big group of folks. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
how many kids make up those 11? Because you have multiples in them, I'm sure.
We have about 5 to 6 kids per class, which might sound kind of right. You know the numbers better
Yeah.
than I do.
I think 8, 6, and 6,
Okay.
and 8 in nursery.
So 6 to 8 kids a class, which
Yeah.
might seem kind of small, but it's more intimate. We can
Mm-hmm.
learn together better that way. Hopefully we'll have more people interested, I guess would be a long-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're not technically a church ministry, and we would like for that to maybe become part of the church, just so we can be under the umbrella of the church's insurance and things like that, that just make running a co-op more easy.
Mm-hmm.
We can focus on the details of it, and the church takes over the bigger things that maybe we don't need to worry about as much.
Administrative stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that maybe is a long-term goal
Mhm.
too.
Other thoughts?
I would just say my short-term goal is to make it feel like a family, to find other people who genuinely care and invest in your kids. I mean, that's my goal in anything. My son plays baseball. Theoretically, I would love to find a coach that genuinely cares and invests in my son.
Yep.
And that's how I feel like we want to be with the other students there, and we want other parents who we know kind of believe the same thing we believe to genuinely invest in our kids.
Brilliant. And that's challenging. It can be, and which is why you're doing it and trying to square it all away. So what's been some of the most challenging things you've had to deal with in homeschooling so far?
In homeschooling in general?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, or take the question however you want. I mean, the co-op is going to be its own thing, but
I think in homeschooling in general, my children are tiny versions of me, right? They spend their most time with me. And so I can be hard-headed and say, I'm just not doing that today. And they can be hard-headed and say, I'm just not doing that today. And that is genuinely one of the hardest things for me. And also the most introspective things for me, right?
Yeah.
I think of it how the Lord thinks of us. Genuinely, sometimes I want to follow his will and do what he asks me to do and says, you just have to do this whether you want to or not. And sometimes I fight back, and we have to acknowledge that he gave us these children to love and take care of and raise, but also they teach us a lot about our interactions with him.
Yep. You're looking in a mirror in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
I think the hardest part for us was choosing a curriculum because there are so many options. And like we said, there's so many families in our church who do it. And like you ask them all and everybody does something different. So there's not an answer and you just get more confused. So at some point you just have to make a decision and go with it. And then you might change like we've talked about. But at the same time, it's encouraging because everyone does something different. And I've seen so many older kids who are like, well, they can speak and like read, like they're doing something right.
Yeah.
So, but it can be very overwhelming until you decide. And then that decision like can change. So,
that's echo that a little bit. Sometimes it's the decision is the hard part, right? And then once you make the decision, you're down the road.
Yeah.
So just affirm that.
Yeah.
Are you going to add something, Lindsay?
I think the hardest for us is just having a baby while we're trying to do school.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Don't
it
talk about
is. This is the first year we haven't had a tiny baby homeschooling, and it's been a lot better. Like, maybe not, I wouldn't say it's been perfect, but I have been significantly less overwhelmed having more of a schedule. But
Very good.
That's been the hardest for me.
Now, obviously there's going to be challenges getting this off the ground, and you're moving that direction. How do you balance parenting, teaching, and personal time when you're kind of in the same facility for all of those things, right? I mean, I'm just thinking about my own experiences, and again, no shade on the school, no shade on the decisions that we made are different than the decisions you're making, right? So I'm edifying and encouraging here. But when our kids go to school, they're out the door and they're at school. There's no structural thing that I can do the house can look the way it's going to look. They're over there doing their thing, and then they're going to be there. And then at 3, they're going to go to practice. And then when that's done, they're going to, then they're going to come home. When they come back in my world, it's my world now. And this is how things roll. And, it's just a different part of life. There, we get up and our food is right there on the table and our schoolwork is right there on the table and our bow is over there, right? And there's
It's all
chores
kind of
and
mixing
stuff.
together.
Yeah. It's all mixed together, which is life, right? After primary and secondary education. But just how does it work when you're trying to form up those processes and structures?
I think we kind of just have blocks of stuff that we will do, and the kids know that we're doing Bible time right now, so you need to sit on the floor. And we'll do read alouds and history at the same time. And then, I don't know, We wake up and have breakfast and do Bible story, and we call them movements, where everyone gets to pick like a movement they do for 30 seconds and everyone else has to do it too, just to get them moving first thing in the morning. And then we do our morning checklist and chores, and then I try to give them playtime in the morning, because it seems like the more kids we get in school, the less time they have to just play. But I don't know. I think it all does mix, and sometimes it doesn't go. That's one of the sanctifying things we've had to deal with, is just, it's not going to be by schedule. It's not going to, everything's not going to go the way you want it to. Hardly ever, actually. But you can plan as much as you want. And then it's all going to go wrong. Probably the day you hope that the plan works out well. But we just try to do blocks. So they know whenever they sit down to do book work, when I get all the book work out, they're going to be sitting there doing book work till it's done. And then the read alouds and history and all that's kind of a different part of the day. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I think, like you said, it's the beauty of it. It's like it's all mixed together. And we've been going to the doctor a lot. So we've been like reading in the car. You have to do this while you're waiting for the doctor to come back. And but it's, all, and some days we wake up and we're like, well, nothing's happening today, and that's okay. And that is okay. And like, we started school, like we've been in it for a month now, expecting this baby. We can take the time off and just be home as a family and adjust for a while, and apart from co-op, and then pick it back up. And that's like, also like, we finish early school compared to like the public. So like, we get to go on family vacations and other people aren't, and do 2 days of school in the winter because it's cold and we can't play outside, and double, triple up our lessons and finish early because we want to, or nobody wants to do school today, we're going to the zoo. Like, that's the beauty of it. But there are like the core kind of things we do daily. But
I love that, because again, you're coming back to the way life actually goes. You need to get up and you need to move. You need to get up and work out. You need to get up and do these things, and that's your home and all these things. And then sometimes you're not going to have time to do those things. And so I can't tell you the number of times I've been like, oh, I got a notification on my phone from State Farm that I have to pay a insurance bill. And I could be anywhere and pay my insurance bill. Just like I could be anywhere and carry a book and read it. And I could be anywhere and, do the thing that needs done. So beautiful. Any other thoughts on that?
I think it's easier in my house to have a list, and my kids know when you're done with your list, you're done.
Yeah.
And you have to like self-serve yourself. You have to be self-motivated. If you want to be done at a decent time, then you have to do your list. If you want to take a 3-hour break in the middle of the day because it's 75 degrees and you want to build a fort under the apple tree, that's great. But you might be doing school at 4:30. And telling me I'm the worst. But, you just...
That was your decision.
You just have to be a self-server. And I think that serves a lot of homeschooling families well as their children get older and get out into the workforce. I think a lot of homeschoolers end up being entrepreneurs because they're used to just doing their own thing, and they know they have to get done what they want to get done, and they know how they're going to do it, and they just do it themselves. But
Brilliant. Have there been any unexpected hurdles, emotional, financial, relational, that you've had to navigate?
I mean, the emotions of my children not wanting to do school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my emotions of not wanting to do school while they also don't want to do school.
Right.
But
It's,
so, yeah, I don't know.
it's hard to, when you have made the decision to homeschool and you feel like it's the right decision, and for it to be so hard sometimes, it's,
if you make it through a couple months and you made nobody's all been crying at the same time, then you have had a very successful couple of months. I mean, it's just a reality. Sometimes we're all in a mood and we're treating each other disrespectfully, and we have to come back and say, listen, I messed up and I'm sorry, and I have to show you how to take accountability for the fact that perhaps 8 plus 5 is really difficult sometimes. And you're there and you're just like, just figure it out. But
I love that. I guess I was interested in more also about the financial side, right? Like every year it seems like we get hit with party costs and class fees and different, supplies for different programs and whatnot. But when everybody's home and you guys are going on field trips, it's not free to go to all these places and stuff like that. So, I guess is there anything lurking that the average person wouldn't know expense wise, or?
I think it's expensive either. I mean, when you do sports and public schooling, it's expensive. And buying things for classes that you probably wouldn't have to buy at home. I don't know. I'm sure it's expensive either way, but it can be expensive. I mean, you're having to buy all this curriculum, which gets pricey. I mean, it doesn't have to, I guess. There's a lot of cheap ways you can do it, curriculum sales and stuff like that. You just have to prepare for those things. But getting your kids involved in social things, that's the most expensive part for me that I have a hard time with. We were just discussing that last night, that, in school, it's just part of school. You do sports. But when you homeschool, you have to make a effort to put your kid in things that they're going to learn extracurricular activities.
I think it can be as expensive or as inexpensive as you make it. You can have a lot of memberships and go places, or you can buy curriculum that's more expensive, or you can use free stuff off of Teachers Pay Teachers online, or you can make it as expensive or as inexpensive as you want. There is talk about making homeschooling curriculum tax deductible, but I think a lot of homeschoolers, I don't know, we just have mixed feelings on that, because in the state of Missouri, we're not very regulated. And as you accept more government funding, you accept more government oversight. And so it's just an interesting thing to think about of, would we prefer to have tax write-offs? We're still paying taxes to the school district.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And if you look at your latest tax bill for the Lawson, Missouri school districts, we pay among the, I think we're reasonably priced compared to other schools in the district, right? So I'm not suggesting that we're in a school district that's charging a lot or whatever, but the tax portion for public schools is very significant. So, the benefit that you're not getting there is what's that?
I said I won't look into that.
Don't look. Don't look. It's not cheap. And but I mean, these are the things that go into a society. So, what are your hopes? Actually, just before we leave the academic program, for what have been some of the greatest rewards or breakthroughs that you've had up to this point?
I will say my hands-on son gets to do things that a lot of public school kids would not be able to do. He gets to go to work with his papa. He's an excellent little welder, and he's 9 years old. He went to a community, fair with my husband, and there was a welding simulator, and he said, "Can I do it?" And the guy said, "Oh, sure, just make a straight line." And he's welding the little circles that welders make. And so I think he is extremely capable. He can do a lot of things because of homeschool that maybe he wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Brilliant.
And I really enjoy watching him, succeed at those things and thinking maybe this will be what he'll decide to do in the future.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think getting to watch them learn how to read was really cool. And just whenever I was teaching kindergarten, to think back, I got to see so many of those kids do that, and their parents were hopefully reading with them at home.
Oh yeah.
But maybe missed out on some of that. And I got to see the joy and light up when you work through a word and you finally see it. That's fun.
There's an intimacy and a connection there with your teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, that's
You
how
both
many.
got skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One, how many of us have a teacher in our lives that was significantly impactful to us,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I have a couple that I can just immediately come to mind about. I'm a better person because some lesson I learned in their class.
Yeah.
How about you, Lindsay?
Yeah, the reading thing that always gets me is when they go from not knowing their letters to reading, and it's so fast. It just happens so fast, and they're so excited because they can read a book on their own. It's really cool to see.
That's awesome. What are your hopes for your children's academic and personal development through homeschooling? So it's a big question. I think we've talked through some of those things already, but I mean, if you kind of look down the road in 5 years, where do you hope your kids will be?
I mean, I think academically it's the same as any other parent, even sending their kids to public school. Like, you want them to learn the things. They're not dumb. Like, but I think I don't know, the homeschooling, how it differs is like all the other things that they are learning, like, especially for us, like in their faith and like how they're growing. And I think you can be intentional, obviously, no matter what you're doing, but the extra time that we have to be very intentional in that. And also just one of our big things that wasn't our choice, like was not on our radar for homeschooling, but now is the relationships that they have with their siblings. Like they just would not have that if they were away from them for 8 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week. It wouldn't happen. But it's also something we tell them a lot, like, God gave you siblings for a reason. Like, I mean, I, growing up now, like my best friends are the people I'm going to church with and like doing life with.
Yeah.
Who are also homeschooling. Like, because we do everything together. Like our siblings, like that's who we're with. Like those are your friends forever. So getting to foster those relationships now and seeing them love each other and get to and have to be intentional in those relationships, it's different.
I need you to come talk to my boys about that.
It's not every day.
They love each other, just like two boys.
Like boys do.
Yeah.
It'll get better.
Yeah.
As they get older, it'll get better. My brother and I were oil and water, and he's one of my best friends right now.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah.
When I think of this question, I think capable. I want my children to be capable. I want them to be capable in their household, to be able to cook, to be able to do laundry, to be able to do the things that they'll need to do as a future husband and father. They'll be able to fix the car or fix the dishwasher, things that they're getting hands-on experience in, but they're also capable to do whatever career they pursue. And at the same time, that they're capable to live a godly, humble life in a world that is just very different. And so that's my goal. Maybe it's more long-term than 5 years. I hope we have much longer than 5 years to accomplish that. But
Sure. No, those are legacy values, right? I mean, and again, I think we come back to the same things before, where you don't want to judge anybody who's trying to make a good decision for their kids, right? That's what we all want. We all want our kids to turn out right and whatnot. And this is the course and direction you've chosen to do that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I would second all of that. I want them to see Christ in their home and follow him and learn what he has planned for them and be confident in that.
So turning to those who may have been considering this, right? I mean, that's been one of my personal observations. I'll be interested in a topic and then I'll bring somebody in and we'll talk about it. And I learned so much in these dialogues, but it never fails that somebody will say, oh, I've been wanting to do the MR 340. Oh, I remember when my mom died. Oh, I remember. And then they'll talk about something that they heard on the podcast and offer something, or I just want you to know that I'm spending more time with my mom now, or I just want you to know I'm working out so I can go do this race, or I just get this awesome feedback here. So for those people who are in our listening audience who are considering homeschooling, what what advice would you give them around this this journey that you've been on, if they're, maybe already feeling overwhelmed or unsure up to this point?
Say, like, just reach out to somebody. Like, there were so many people who were like, here's my number, like, please, like, I'd like send a message like, what curriculum are you using for like math? And then huge messages, and let's get coffee and talk about it. I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah. Like, but everybody, like, every mom that I've talked to is so passionate about it.
Yeah.
For a reason, their own reasons, and like is wanting and willing to like talk to you about it. And like I said, everyone does something different. So a lot of times people told me things and I'm like, well, that doesn't work for us, but you'll find someone who does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just everyone's so encouraging and willing to help.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is intimidating until you can like talk to somebody and see somebody like doing it and has done it well.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, oh, okay, like I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, what I said earlier is you can always change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you have committed to public school and you change your mind, that's okay. And if you commit to homeschool and it does not go well, you can change your mind and just re-enroll them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not locked into a decision for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
If your child changes or needs extra support, you can change your mind, and that's okay.
Mm. Terrific.
Yeah, I would say, if you're thinking about trying it, just try it and find the good in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's all of those things are very interesting, right? Seek help, find an opportunity to try. And then what you said, you can always change if you want. That was, you kind of come into a dialogue thinking it's going to be a certain way. That was a subconscious bias that I had was, once you decide to homeschool, you're a homeschooler and that's it. Like, I wasn't giving myself the ability to consider, oh wait, we could do this for a couple of years, and if it goes well and the kids are growing and doing well, great. But if I want to put them back in the public school, or hey, we've been doing public school for a couple of years and this really isn't working well, so I can try that too. So really affirm all of those things. And then what role do you believe maybe like the community should play in supporting homeschool families? We talked a little bit about the co-op, right? I mean, that's a kind of a self-supporting network of folks coming together. But we've talked. I mean, if you've listened to the podcast much at all, I mean, you've seen celebrate the community atmosphere in the gym, celebrated the teachers and instruction that they get at school. You don't have to go very far at all to figure out ways that the community supports the Lawson School District or the school district that's in the area. Don't necessarily feel like the homeschooling program has gotten that level of support. And so, like, what do you think would be a good support way for the community to?
And I think you would be surprised at how much opportunity there is for homeschoolers today in today's society. There's homeschool archery, there's homeschool sports teams that they can join. There, in the Excelsior Community Center has homeschool swim. There's lots of activities that the community provides for us to do. And also, always get plugged into your local church. Either way, you should get plugged into your local church and find someone who can support what you're doing and lift each other up with encouragement.
Libraries have lots of resources. But yeah, a lot of businesses, I think, probably get a lot of benefits from having homeschool times because most kids are at school. So if they offer things during the day for homeschool families, they get more business when other kids wouldn't be available.
Yeah, brilliant. I didn't thought about that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start by just saying thank you for coming. If we not talked about something that you felt passionate about that you want to talk about.
I think also too, to like the parent who's maybe considering it, like, you do not need any sort of education to do it. I think,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, the qualifications of being a teacher.
Yeah. Like I'm glad I have my degree to some extent. I mean, if Lee ever could work, I'd need to go work somewhere.
Right.
But like that didn't qualify me. A lot of people when we're homeschooling, like, oh yeah, because you're gonna homeschool because you like taught kindergarten, like you can do it. I'm like, yes, but you don't have to. Like that's not what qualified me to do this. It's that God gave me children and made me capable because I'm their parent.
Right. Right.
So
and you want to invest in them and love them in the best way you know possible. And that's the way this direction you've chosen. Terrific.
Yeah, that was one of the things they said I went to a homeschool conference with a friend that was helping me learn about homeschooling. But one of the things they said was, if you can park the car in the parking lot this morning, you can homeschool your child. And we had done that. So
thanks,
felt pretty qualified after that.
Look at you. You have reached the qualification.
But also to the same, like, so we're doing this co-op and like, I'm going to be like my daughter's like primary teacher and not my son's. And he like immediately is like, well, who's my teacher? I'm like, well, Miss Lindsay. And he's like, oh, because she knows more. I'm like, well, yeah, I haven't ever taught like this before. So, and she has, like, yes. And that is the beauty of the community that we are creating is I don't know everything. Like somebody corrects my spelling all the time in our group text. I'm like, I taught the letters, guys. You're teaching them how to do more things. And that is like, we're all like feeding off each other and like, yes, we're doing this together, but they're also like my friends, like who I want to be with. So
yeah, it has been a great blessing, and just seeing the Lord bring these three people together with their different strengths and weaknesses has been really cool.
Yeah.
That's inspiring. All right. Well, it has been a pleasure to talk with you all. I've learned so much, and I'm excited to watch this co-op develop, and you obviously get to know your kids in so many other ways as well. But in the meantime, thank you for stepping out in faith and making these decisions, and for coming on and talking about it. Right? I mean, it's clear you're passionate about it, and I don't know, the world needs more passionate people. All right. With that, we'll let you get back to it. And everyone, thanks for listening. This has been the Son of the Law podcast. Have a great day.
Never get alone. Well, I don't say that. I do get alone time, but usually Josh is with me, and I'm like, listen, sometimes you really want to be alone.
I love you, bud.
He always gets personally offended. I love to go to eat by myself, and he's like, I cannot believe you want to go to eat without me. Don't you want to go to eat with me? And I'm like, listen, I really don't want to go by myself.
Like just in the drive-thru?
Can you come join me in a little
I go
while?
to like an actual restaurant. Get the queso, you're worth the queso. Like, just sit there and eat and take a book or a notebook and just like.
I have never done that in my life.
Oh, it's perfect. You don't
You're
have to,
worth the queso.
you don't have to wait
it.
on anybody. People will bring you food.
Sounds nice.
You don't have to interact with people.
That is true.
Waiter. Listen, you should try it.
So one of the questions I was going to ask you, and I think that might be the answer, is, and it's not on the list, but what is the most recent stupidest fight that you've been in with your spouse?
I'm 9 months pregnant. They're all pretty high up there right now.
Oh, Lindsay?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Okay. Chris and I just got in one. I ate a chocolate chip cookie that had not gotten to room temperature yet after it came out of the freezer.
That is probably
maybe it was good. Maybe that's how I wanted it.
Yeah, that's probably, I don't know that we argue about it, but one of the things that irritates me is when he eats the food that I've bought to prepare a meal later on the week. Like he'll eat the cheese or something and it's for tacos. But then I'm always like, I mean, you are the one that works for the money. I can buy more cheese. That's such a silly thing to get upset about.
No, one day I was at the volleyball game and I had made bacon for BLTs and left it on the counter. And so I was like halfway during the volleyball game, like, oh yeah, that's on the counter. He's going to eat that. So I texted him real quick, like, don't eat bacon. And he's like, too late. I'm like, well, you don't get a BLT now.
Yeah, I always feel bad whenever he comes up to me and he's like, can I eat this? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
You're allowed.
Classic. I was saving that. Okay. Well, I've been recording for like 5 minutes, so we may put that in the show.
Cool.